Hi, my name is Yin Gao and welcome to Dr. Gao's classroom. I'm a professional philosopher and I love classical Chinese poetry. I have been teaching and translating classical Chinese poetry for the last few years with a colleague of mine. I would love to share my knowledge on the subject with you. Your enjoyment is my command. Today, I'm going to translate and analyze another poem by Bai Ju-yi. In my last 3 videos, I have talked about his love for Xiangling and the tragic ending of their love affair, and translated 3 of his poems. Here is the link to the first video. It might be because of his own experience, Bai Ju-yi had deep compassion for the suffering of women. This is one of the many poems he composed for women. In 838 AD, 23 years after he saw Xiangling for the last time and 13 years since he tried to find her, Bai Ju-yi composed this poem in the title of 井底引银瓶指银奔也, or draw the silver bottle from the bottom of a well to stop scandalous elopes. Even though the title seems to imply his Confucian view on the morality of marriage, he could not help to show his deep sympathy to the poor woman who ran away with her lover and only to be abandoned in a few years' time. The Tang Dynasty might be the most open and cosmopolitan period during the Chinese history. Women of the Tang enjoyed far more freedom than in any other time. It was not rare for a young girl to run away with her lover when his or her family rejected their intention to marry each other. There were at least 2 cases, I find, that a young woman eloped with their lovers. One is the story of a scholar named Wang Xuanyan and his lover Xiao Weixiang. We don't know much about their affair except that they ran away and lived in a hotel for a while. The other case was far more famous. This was allegedly a true story recorded by a scholar named Chen Xuanyu. During the late 770s AD, a young man named Wang Zhou fell in love with a girl named Zhang Qianyang. However, their families were not aware of their love affair. Later on, Qianyang's father accepted a marriage proposal from another family. The young man was devastated and decided to leave town. When Wang Zhou was about to board the boat, he saw Qianyang running up to him with bare foot. Wang Zhou was very happy, and they traveled to Sichuan and settled there. They lived as husband and wife for 5 years and had 2 children and never contacted their parents. After 5 years, Qianyang missed her parents very much, so they traveled back to their hometown. Wang Zhou went to see Qianyang's parents to apologize for taking Qianyang away without informing them. However, Qianyang's father was shocked and said that Qianyang had never left home and she had been sick and was in coma for the last 5 years. So Qianyang's father sent a servant to check on Wang Zhou's boat where Qianyang and the children were supposed to be waiting. Qianyang met the servant and asked how her parents was doing. The servant was surprised and rushed back to report to his master. When the family heard about the news, the Qianyang at home suddenly woke up and put on makeup and got out of the gate to meet the other Qianyang who had come along with the servant. When the 2 Qianyang met, they embraced and became one person. The family thought the event was too weird and kept it as a secret. However, the story was discreetly shared among relatives. Chen Xuanyou often heard various reasons of the story growing up. Around the late 770s, Chen Xuanyou met Zhang Zhonggui, the county governor of his hometown, who was a distant cousin of Qianniang. Chen asked Zhang whether the story was true, and Zhang confirmed that it was true, and gave him a lot more details of the story. So Chen Xuanyou wrote up the story in the title of 离魂记, or the story of a departed soul. The story was transmitted over the following centuries and was adapted into a play around the 13th century by a scholar named Zheng Guangzhu, who was active between 1264 to 1320, in the title of 倩女离魂, which is known as one of the three best-known plays for romantic love with 西厢记, or the story of Western Chamber. I have made a video on this story, here's the link. And 拜月亭, or praying to the moon. I might make a video on this play in the future. So if you're new to my channel, please check out my other videos on classical Chinese poetry, philosophies, or medical literature. If you like the content of these videos, please click the like button and subscribe my channel. I also offer one-to-one online lessons on this subject. If you would like to read the original text with me, please contact me. Here's my email address. Now, back to Bai Ju-yi's story, and the poem in the title of 井底引银瓶指银奔也, or draw a silver bottle from the bottom of a well to stop scandalous elopes. Now, let me explain the second part of the title, to stop scandalous elopes. As I said in the introduction to this video, during the peaceful time of the Tang Dynasty, people enjoyed wine, poetry, and many other kinds of entertainment throughout the year. The Tang culture was also quite open and tolerant. So the restraints imposed on young women were not as strict as in the later dynasties such as the Song, Ming, and Qing dynasties. There were cases of young women run away with their lovers. However, many of these cases ended up in tragedy. The story told by Bai Ju-yi in his poem is a such story. Ever since Bai Ju-yi was forced to be separated from Xiangling, we could imagine he might have thought about to just elope with her. However, in this poem, Bai Ju-yi, assuming the voice of a woman who did elope with her lover, told a story that ended in a tragedy. Her lover's parents refused to accept her as a daughter-in-law and treated her like a maid. So she warned young girls what might happen to them if they ignore the advice from their parents and elope with their lovers. This might be why Bai Ju-yi labeled such actions as scandalous and warned young girls against such action. The poem was composed around 838 AD. By this time, Bai Ju-yi had risen to a rank 2 position as the tutor of the crown prince and won the title of Marquis of Pingyi and the land, a county close to the capital. Bai Ju-yi was 66 years old. Even after so many years, we can still see how much his affair with Xiangling impacted on his view about love and marriage. Now, let me read the poem in Chinese first. 井底引银瓶指银奔也, Bai Ju-yi. 井底引银瓶，银瓶欲上诗神绝。 石上磨玉簪，玉簪欲成中央折。平臣沾折知奈何？侍妾今朝与君别。忆昔在家为女时，人言举动有殊之。婵娟两鬓秋蝉意，婉转双额远山色。笑谁戏伴后园中？此时与君未相识。妾弄青梅平短墙，君骑白马傍垂杨。墙头马上遥相顾，一见知君即断肠。知君断肠共君语，君子南山松柏树。感君松柏化微心，暗合双环逐君去。道君家社5、6年，君家大人贫有言。聘者为妻奔侍妾，不堪主事奉平凡。终至君家不可住，奈何出门无去处。岂无父母在高堂，亦有亲情满故乡。前来更不通消息，今日悲休归不得。为君一日恩，误妾百年身。既言痴小人家女，慎勿将身轻许人。Now, let's look at the first two couplets. 井底引银瓶，银瓶一上诗神绝。石上磨玉簪，玉簪欲成中央折。井 means well. 底 means bottom. 引 means draw. 银 means silver. 瓶 means bottle. 银 again means silver. 瓶 means bottle. 玉 means about to. 上 means come up. 丝绳 refers to silk rope. 绝 means snap. 石 means stone. 上 means on. 磨 means polish. 玉 means jade. 簪 means hairpin. 玉 again means jade. 簪 means hairpin. 玉 means about to. 成 means to be finished. 中央 means middle. 折 means break. So the two couplets read, draw the silver bottle from the bottom of the well. The bottle is about to come up, but the rope snaps. Polish a jade hairpin on a stone. It is almost finished when the hairpin breaks in the middle. 平臣沾折知奈何？侍妾今朝与君别。忆昔在家为女时，人言举动有殊之。平 means bottle. 臣 means sink. 簪 means hairpin. 折 means break. 知 means know. 奈何 means what to do. 是 means just like. 妾 means concubine, but it often is used as a self-reference pronoun for women in classical Chinese. So my colleague and I translate it as I. 今朝 means this morning. 与 means from. 君 means you. 别 means part. 忆 means remember. 昔 means past. 在 means at. 家 means home. 为 means is. 女 means daughter. 时 means time. 人 means person, but here it refers to people she met. So we interpret the term as neighbors. 言 means speak, but here it refers to remarks made by the neighbors. 举 means raise. 动 means move. 举动 means act or behave. Here it refers the way This woman carries herself as in her body postures and behavior. 舒 means extraordinary. 之 means body posture. So 舒之 here means extraordinarily elegant beauty. So the two couplets read, the bottle sinks, the hairpin breaks. Who knows what to do? Just like my parting from you this morning. I remember the time when I was a daughter at home. The neighbors remarked on my elegant postures and extraordinary beauty. 婵娟两鬓秋蝉意，婉转双额远山色。笑随戏伴后园中，此时与君未相识。婵娟 refers to beautiful girl. 两 means two. 鬓 means temple. 两鬓 refers to the hair around the two temples. Sometimes it also refers to all the hair on the head. 秋 means autumn. 蝉 means cicada. 意 means wing. 秋蝉意 was a fashionable hairstyle for young girls. It looks like this. 婉转 means to speak tacitly or gently or sing softly. It also means something slender, as in this case. 额 literally means mouth, but it is often used with 眉 or eyebrow, as in the term of 峨眉, which was a makeup style for eyebrow very popular in Tang Dynasty. Here is a painting of this style makeup of a court lady. The eyebrows do look like a pair of mouse wings. 远 means distant. 山 means mountain. 色 means color. 笑 means laugh. 水 means follow. 戏伴 means playmate. 后 means rare. 园 means garden. 中 means middle. 此 means this. 时 means time. 与 means with. 君 means you. 未 means not yet. 相 means each other. 识 means know. 未相识 literally means not yet know each other. However, given the context, this was the time they met each other for the first time. So the two couplets read, I was a beautiful girl, wearing my hair like two autumn cicada wings. My slender eyebrows were the color of distant mountains. I loved following my playmates around in the rare garden. It was there when you and I first know each other. 妾动青梅平短墙，军骑白马棒垂杨。墙头马上遥相顾，一见知君即断肠。妾 means I, 弄 means play, 青 means green, 梅 means plum. 青梅 is a reference to Li Bai's poem of 长干行, where 青梅 refers to a young girl. 平 means lean on. 短 means low. 墙 means wall. 君 means you. 骑 means ride. 白 means white. 马 means horse. 棒 means near. 垂 means 朱平. Yang means poplar. 墙 means wall. 头 means top. 马上 means on a horse. 遥 means afar. 相 means each other. 顾 means look. 疑 means one. 见 means look. 知 means know. 君 means you. 即 means right away. 断肠 means broken bow. It is the Chinese counterpart for heartbreak. So the two couplets read, I played with the green plum, leaning on a low wall. You was on a white horse near the drooping poplar. We looked at each other from afar, me on the wall and you on the horse. One look and I knew right away my heart was pierced through. 知君断肠共君语，君子南山松柏树。感君松柏化为心，暗合双环逐君去。知 means no, 君 means you, 断肠 means heartbreak, 共 means with or to, 君 means you, 语 means talk, 君 again means you, 指 means point, 南 means south, 山 means mountain, 松 means pine, 柏 means cypress, 树 means tree. The reference of 松柏 comes from the Analyses, a collection of Confucius sayings where he says, 岁寒然后至松柏之后凋也, meaning it is only when the cold sets in that we realize that the pine and the cypress are the last to fade. The reference of pine and cypress as the Confucianism become the state ideology since the Han Dynasty becomes a fixed praise to represent integrity and resilience to endure hardship. 感 means moved. 君 means your. 松柏 here refers to the man's vow he took about his love for her. 化为 means turn into. 心 means heart. 化为心 here means that she took his vow into her heart, meaning that she trusted him. 暗 means secret. 合 means join. 双 means two. 环 means band. 合双环 means join the two hair band together. As you can see in these two pictures, the hairstyle of a young girl and a married woman are very different. To change from a girl hairdo to a woman's hairdo, she needs to put the two bands together to make the one band. So we translate 合双环 as fashion her hair to that of a married woman. 逐 means follow. 君 means you. 去 means go. So the two couplets read, I knew you felt the same way and talked to you. You point to the trees on the mountains as a wall. I knew that your feelings for me is as enduring as the pine and the cypress. I secretly fashioned my hair to that of a married woman and went with you. 道君家舍5、6年，君家大人品有言。聘者为妻奔似妾，不堪主事奉平凡。终至君家不可住，妻奈出门无去处。道 means arrive, 君 means your, 家舍 means home, 5 means 5, 6 means 6, 年 means year. 君家 literally means your home, but here it refers to the man's family. So we translate it as your. 大人 refers to his parents. 品 means over and over. 有 means have. 言 means word. 聘 refers to the rituals of engagement. So we translate it as properly betrothed. 者 means therefore. 为 means to be. 妻 means wife. 奔 means elope. 是 means is. 妾 means concubine. 聘者为妻奔似妾 is a rephrasing of a statement from a seminal Confucian text, 礼记, or the records of rights, in its section of 内者, or the rules for the inner chamber, that is, rules for behavior among family members. The statement is, 聘者为妻，奔者为妾. A woman properly betrothed is a wife. A woman eloped with a man is a concubine. So this is the rule about how a woman who joined a man will be treated within the family. 不 means not. 堪 means qualified or good enough. 主事 means to host a sacrificial ceremony. 奉 means to make an offer. 平凡 refers to two edible water plants, but here it refers to vegetables offered at the ancestor altar during the annual sacrificial rituals. 终 means eventually. 知 means no. 君 means your. 家 means home. 不 means not. 可 means can. 住 means stay. 其奈 means but. 出 means go out. 门 means gate. 无 means no. 去 means go. 处 means place. 无去处 means nowhere to go. So the three couplets read, I arrived at your home and stayed for 5 or 6 years. Your parents had words with me over and over. They say I was not properly betrothed, therefore merely a concubine. I was not a wife and could not make offerings to your ancestor. Eventually, I knew I could not stay in your home, but I had nowhere to go. 岂无父母在高堂，亦有亲情满故乡。前来更不通消息，今日悲休归不得。岂无 means didn't. 父母 means parent. 在 means in. 高堂 refers to the family hall, but here it simply refers to the woman's home. 亦 means and. 有 means have. 亲情 refers to relatives. 满 literally means full of, but here it just means that she had a lot of relatives. 故乡 means hometown. 前来 means come secretly. 更不 means never. 通 literally means connected, but here it means keeping in touch. 消息 means news or information. 通消息 means stay connected or keep in touch. So we translate it as send letters. 今日 means today. 悲 means sad. 休 means ashamed. 归 means go back. 不得 means cannot. So the two couplets read, Didn't I have parents in my home and a lot of relatives in my hometown? I had come here in secret and never sent them a letter. Today I feel sad and ashamed and cannot go back. 为君一日恩，勿妾百年身。既言痴小人家女，切勿将身轻许人。为 means for, 君 means you, 一 means one, 日 means day, but we translate it as night because in English we have the phrase of one night stand. You don't have one day stand. So we translate it as one night. En means favor. Wu means ruin. Qie is a self-reference, so we translate it as my. 百年 means 100 years. Because Chinese believe that people should live up to 100 years, 百年 is often used to refer a lifetime. so we translate it as lifetime. Shen means self, ji means sand, yan means word, chi means silly, xiao means young, 人家女 means daughters of other families. Sen means be careful. Wu means don't. Jiang means take. Shen means yourself. Qing means lightly. Xu means promise. Ren refers to anyone. So the two couplets read, For one night of your favor, I ruined my life. I would like to send my words to silly young girls. Be careful and don't lightly promise yourself to anyone. So the first two couplets set the backdrop of the story. The silver bottle almost reached the ground when the rope snapped. The hairpin was almost finished polishing when it broke in the middle. What a pity! Yinping is also a quite interesting image used here. Ping is not a bottle as we understand it today. It refers to a bucket used to draw up water from a well in classic Chinese. Drawing a silver bucket from the bottom of a well is a delicate task because a silver bucket might not be as sturdy as the wooden bucket, and a silver bucket is also something delicate and valuable, just like their love affair. The imageries of jade hairpin also symbolizes their love affair. The woman then recalled the time when they first met, and how the man swore that he would love her no matter what happens, that his love would be as enduring as the pine and cypress. That was the reason that she joined him at his home. However, his love was not enough for him to convince his parents to accept her as their daughter-in-law. They treated her like a servant. So eventually, she decided that she would leave, but it was too hard because she had lost touch with her own parents and was too ashamed to go home. The poem did not state what the woman do. Did she leave her man and lived on her own, or stayed as a concubine at his home? We don't know. However, we can imagine whether she stayed or left. Her life was going to be very hard. At the end, Bai Ju-yi continues with the woman's voice, advises that young girls should be careful and do not elope with a man because it would all end in tragedy. This poem becomes very popular in the following centuries. A Yuan Dynasty playwright, Bai Pu, adapted this poem into a play in the title of 墙头马上, a girl on top of a wall and a man on top of a horse. And the play is still one of the popular Beijing opera today. For my next video, I invited my colleague, Dr. David Musgrave. He is the one who has been collaborating with me translating all the poems in my videos. Dr. Musgrave is an accomplished poet. So in my next video, we are going to talk about Bai Ju-yi's personal epic poem, 长恨歌, or the Ballad of Eternal Regret. It was quite a new experience for me to collaborate with someone to make a video. I'm sure you would enjoy it as much as I did. If you're new to my channel, please check out my other videos on classical Chinese poetry, philosophies, or medical literature. If you like the content of these videos, please click the like button and subscribe my channel. I also offer one-to-one online lessons on these subjects. If you would like to read original text with me, please contact me. Here's my email address. Thank you for viewing my video. I'll see you next time.